Welcome back to Hippocrates Health Institute Diet Debunk. My name is Lindsay. I'm here with world-renowned nutrition expert Brian Clement and our special guest Lamar Odom. Welcome, NBA star and two-time champion. And we are going to be talking about athletic diets today, but even more so in depth from someone who's actually had to go through eating a certain way for athletics. You know, Brian and I have talked about this subject ourselves before, and we went down our own rabbit hole, but today we're here to talk with someone who knows even more about it than we do from the perspective of an athlete. So, I mean, Brian, I'm sure you have some questions to start off with.
Well, I do. You know, last time Lamar and I spoke about diet, it was really shocking to me, but not surprising. He said, here he is, 14 years in the NBA, a superstar, one of the best known basketball players in the history of basketball. Remember, basketball is not a new sport. It's been around a very long time. And I said, what do you and your teammates eat? And he said, candy bars. Now, can you imagine this? I said, out of all the teams you played with, how many had nutritionists? He said one, but they weren't very good.
Yeah, well, that was just my bad habit. I was probably addicted to sugar and didn't even know it. But I never was really taught when I was in the NBA about nutrition and how our bodies is our temples. It fuels us. What we put in our bodies is what we put out on the court. I always got my examples from other people that played. Like I seen Michael Jordan do an interview, and I heard him say that he liked to eat a steak before every game. So I was 19 or 20 years old. I was like, let me try a steak before every game.
Jordan.
Yeah. I was like, let me try a steak before a game. But I didn't really have a disciplined diet when I was in the NBA. I wish I would have.
Yeah, in Jordan's generation, which is a little younger than me, but I was taught as he, meat was good for athletes.
Yeah.
Now you've been off meat here at Hippocrates for a few weeks. Tell me the difference in how you feel.
Well, I think today was like, I've been here, I think, almost 3 weeks.
Yes.
And today was like the first day I felt energized. So now after this interview, I'm ready to go like work out and maybe go get a salad from the gym. Try to keep this raw vegan thing up.
Well, the good thing for you is that you're on the same exact time that everyone's in. First week, it's like hell here.
Yeah.
We always joke and say it's like an exorcism.
Yeah.
Next week, you're sort of coming out of the fog, and the third week, you start coming alive.
Yeah.
So we were talking before we got on camera here about a film that is out there that's one of the most powerful films I've seen for athletes. Goes to the strongest men, the most influential men on the planet Earth in athletics today. Strongest man we sent to the Olympics, lifted over 700 pounds, head over. Complete plant-based eater. Arnold Schwarzenegger's complete plant-based eater. But the part of the film I want to talk a little bit about is where they went to 3 college athletes, a white guy, a Latino guy, and a black guy. And these are top stars, guys who are on their way to, superstardom.
Yeah.
And they said, well, do you think that meat is good for you? So like you were taught and I was taught as a kid, oh yeah, that makes you strong.
Yeah.
That builds muscle, it gives you endurance. So the doctor said, let's hook up your genitalia. And created a device, put it on their genitalia, let them go to sleep for 8 hours that night, and filmed them when they were sleeping. And literally, one night had them on a meat diet, the next night a plant-based diet like you're on now, and sat the kids down and said, what do you think happened? And they were a little shy, and they were young. And finally he showed the results. They had a 400% increase in erections, and their dream states were much more active sexually when they were on just a plant-based diet. Now remember, these were not lucky guys like you that have been cleaning your body out and building it for 3 weeks now. These are kids, they just always ate meat, got them off at one day, and that was the results.
That's amazing.
So you're telling me that being a vegan will make me a better lover?
You bet, man. You're going to be so sexy, women won't leave you alone at that point.
I'm sold, man.
This is a sex diet, I'm telling you that. No
sold.
question about it.
So I have a question as it relates to, the camaraderie of being on a team. I'm sure you guys go out and eat together and spend time like eating together as a group, right?
I don't think I've ever played with a vegan.
No, I
No,
know
no,
that,
no.
but like as like your previous team members, you know, was there any kind of like diet that you saw across the team where people were eating certain things before a game? Like for instance, other sports, you'll hear people say high carb diets. They'll want to eat like a lot of like pasta or something like that the night before. Or was there anything that you saw across with your other teammates that they would like to eat?
Usually see a lot of pasta, steak and fish. I think it would probably depends on the person, the position he plays, and how he wanted to feel.
Gotcha.
in that position.
Yeah.
We had a lot of guys that were probably straight though. They said I wouldn't drink booze or smoke dope or any of that stuff. There were probably players like that. Well, probably they were Christians or something. There must have been some of those players that you ran into along the way.
I mean, you ran into all types of different personalities, guys from different upbringings and races, creeds, and nationalities.
Yeah, you just sparked an interest. Yeah. How about now they're bringing these guys from China who are 9 feet tall.
Yeah.
And you ever get to play against any of them?
Well, I played against Yao Ming,
Oh, yeah.
who was 7'7". He was extremely skilled to be 7'7" as well. But basketball has evolved. It started here, but they play everywhere, and that's why you have so many European players playing. I mean, they play in places where they're in school for 2 hours, and the rest of the day is just basketball.
Yeah, I know Lithuania, a place I've been quite often.
Yeah.
But you were one of those skilled. You're tall.
Yeah.
How tall are you?
6'9", 6'10".
You're 6'10", and you're as a point man.
Yeah, I handled the ball.
I mean, why is
point
it that
guard.
it's so hard for tall people to do that?
I don't know. I think my love for the game, who I admired, where I played, where I grew up playing basketball, kind of honed my basketball skills. New York City, the basketball game is controlled by a point guard. So in New York, you have to learn how to handle the ball and be crafty with it.
But we're from the same area, and I know in New York, if you lose a game, people beat the shit out of you.
Yeah, you don't want to lose again. Damn right.
So Brian, what would you say in terms of the Hippocrates diet for any of the athletes who are maybe watching this episode today? What would you say are a few things that they should start incorporating into their diets today that will help them with their performance and just moving forward?
Well, most important is really the greens. People don't realize that the strongest creature on earth is an ape. And if you look at an ape, he can pick a 200-pound man up with one arm and throw them across literally a football field. They sustain on greens out in nature. And they don't only take the top of the green, they'll pull the root out, the sprouts, and eat it. It is amazing. What that does is get circulation, complete proteins. That's where all the proteins in the world come from. The sun shines down, the leaf collects it, the photons turn into protein, and literally you absorb it. Readily absorbed, 15, 20 minutes. It regulates blood sugar. I've had 17 Olympians that I've helped to train over the years. Every one of them medaled at some level. The lowest, I think 4 of them had bronze medals. And they actually said to me they've never felt stronger, better, and endurance with less pain and suffering. Injuries just go down because the inflammation levels go down. This is the highest protein diet on the planet Earth. So not only are you getting high alkalized food, but you're building muscle at the same time, repairing. I mean, we don't think about muscle building and basketball. What do you think the lower body is? What do you think the back is? I mean, they're building muscle maybe more so than other sports because you have to be agile and you're moving back and forth. So the recovery is because you lack protein. And guess what? The people that consume the largest amount of meat and dairy food lack the protein. They're deficient in protein because once you cook these things, they're not complete proteins. You've been lied to by the meat and dairy industry. And this goes back for any of us listening, we're born.
Wow.
Yeah. So what do you think your future is going to be like as far as food?
Well, I'm going to be a vegan, a proud vegan.
That's a man.
I'm going to be vegan.
Well, we got to get one of these for that.
Yep.
Well, let me tell you something. You're a good man, now you're going to be a good vegan, and I see you back on the court.
Well, I hope so.
No hope. This is bullshit word. I don't like the word hope. It's a bullshit word. When are we going to do it? Who's going to do it? And by the way, all of you listening around the world, who's going to pick this superstar up to make him a superstar? You know how popular you're going to be? When you have a young 40-year-old man out there knocking the heck out of the 20-year-olds that you pick and thought were the best. Seasoned, let me tell you, seasoned people are going to be better than people you have to bring up from the bottom up.
Yeah.
That's what I say. You're going to do it.
Vegan's the new 20. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. Vegan is the new 20.
Yeah.
A 40-year-old on a vegan diet is like an 18-year-old. You went to the Rebody shop in this one.
That's a good T-shirt.
Yeah, that's it. You're not kidding. We got to make that T-shirt.
Vegan is the new 20.
It is.
So you must have seen this gentleman when you were young, growing up, playing. And
oh yeah, for sure.
What do you think about a guy like this that was spending his whole life so passionately in sports?
Well, I mean, the thing I think of is anyone who's in sports, it's so much on the body. It's like, you know, you're training all the time, you're performing literally on a stage of sorts, and then you're in your recovery process, which is still a part of your training. And so the amount of energy you're putting into your body over time is, you know, what I would think of is like, that's a lot for one person to handle. And it's like, I think of not having a vegan diet and sustaining that, for me, that is hard for me to comprehend, because I know how anti-inflammatory the vegan diet is. I know how it helps with recovery so much. And that's something that you hear athletes say a lot as it relates to the vegan diet, is the recovery time between working out, between, you know, playing, no matter what it is so much shorter, because there's just less to process through the body. And so it's amazing to know that athletes are even doing what they're doing, eating whatever they decide to eat that day.
Mike Tyson's back fighting in his 50s.
Yeah,
You're a youngster.
Yeah.
He's in his mid-50s. He's a vegan. He's been a vegan for at least a decade or more. Muhammad Ali won his fights on it. You know, this is a legacy. And I joked about it, but I meant it. I actually think a 40-year-old young man that's still vital, if you're eating this way and still training, you have to train just as hard as when you were young, you're going to be as strong as you were. There's no doubt in my mind. I've seen it so many times. I've seen it in my own life. You know, I'm at the gym lifting weight that's 3 times heavier than guys that are a third of my age. All the time. And I'm never injured. I don't feel pain. I don't suffer. Now, what do you think? I'm an enigma?
No.
I'm normal. And you look at the strongest people in the world, they eat this way. This isn't only for stars and sports people. This is how indigenous people eat. And look at them. They die at 100 years old. They don't die of a cancer or heart disease or diabetes. They die of old age. They just wear out at some point.
Yeah.
We all gotta go.
And I think too, like at this point also, it's like you get to a point in your life, it's like you get past your 20s, you kind of move past that where you can just kind of do whatever to your body and you just kind of sustain through it. But then you get to the place in your life where it's like a new area where you get to learn how to respect your body and how to actually how to treat it properly. And I think that's kind of a beautiful new place to go into, no matter who you are, whether you're doing, you know, athletics or anything in life. It's like, I was able to do whatever I wanted for this period of time, but now I get to learn what it's like to actually like love and care for myself at a new level. And it's that in itself, I think, is like a spiritual experience, to be able to take care of yourself in that way, because this is the only body we have, you know? And so, I mean, I'm all behind you doing the vegan thing, and I know so many people out there will be as well. So
we're going to come back here in 2 years with Lamar Odom when he's on a team kicking young man's butts and winning. And I don't doubt this is going to happen. And what Lamar is doing is coming back to his spiritual self. That's who we really are. You know, everything else is nonsense. You know, and the truth of the matter is, when you get your spiritual self, you really find the God within you. There's nothing that slows you down. So thanks for being with us again today.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, be well.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Till next time.
this is Diet Debunked.